Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm doing the commentary for the custom control scheme for the PS4 settings. I found that the regular settings were very hard to use, so I spent about 2 months or so coming up and testing my own control scheme, and this is the final product and what I think so far works for me the best. So we're going to go over with it. I got a script here. I'm going to try to read the script as I go over it on screen. And we'll just see how it goes. This character here, the Null Angler, this is my original character from 2019, and I only made it to Golem, and then I quit. And then these are all the characters that I made for the Operation Legendary Zenith series that I'm trying to do. And then these are my two Journey characters. This is my Legacy Journey character, and this is my newer one that I was working on. Doing the Celebration Seed, and then I got the idea to do this giant Operation Legendary Zenith thing, but that's a whole other story for a whole other day. So here we go. We're going to start with the Null Angler. We're going to go to my original world, my Legacy world, the oldest world, created on January 29th, 2019. Alright, let's try to get him safe. Get inside the house. This is my house. Well, we're not here for that today. Alright, today we're going to go over the control scheme settings. So, you're going to hit start, work your way down to settings, go over to the little controller tab, go to scheme, go down to redigits pick, and select that one. I'm not going to do it now because I already have my custom setup, so that's that, and we'll go into the controller bindings. Now up here at the top, the three little lines, at the top signal that we are in the controller bindings tab. Open your inventory by hitting the triangle button to access your personal inventory. The circle button will close all inventories. You can navigate inventories using the left stick. Additionally, the D-pad works as well. That's my preferred way to do it. These cycle pages mean you can use the bumpers, the L1 and R1 buttons to switch tabs and user interfaces, like this. Doing that with the bumpers. Switch to world. Alright, this one's kind of important. Now the switch to world button, triangle, is very important. You're going to use that to be able to use items in the world and walk around the world while your inventory is open. As stated before, you can alternatively navigate open inventories using the D-pad. Which is what this is, right there at the bottom. The next tab. All your movement is done with the left stick and all your aiming is done with the right stick. Making this feel like a twin stick shooter, doesn't it? Now jump is performed by pulling the left trigger, which is super weird, but it allows for movement, aiming, and jumping to be done all at once seamlessly. You can go through your hotbar, your 10 hotbar items with the L1 and R1 button. Grapple is important. By default, I believe it's X, but I think I changed that to the left bumper and tapping the right trigger. Because I find that you can aim with your right stick and shoot your grapple out at the same time. But the difficulty here is you've got to jump with L2 and immediately hold R1 and then tap R2 to shoot the grapple out. It's a little tricky. Let me know if you can come up with something better for the grapple. It's the best I got right now. Quick mount, which is how you'll hop onto your minecart or summon your mount, is provided. Let's do that again. Quick mount, which is how you'll hop into your minecart or summon your mount, provided you have one, is done by holding L1 and tapping down on the D-pad. More about the L1 and D-pad combination controls in a second. The final three here, I find are unnecessary. I don't use them. I don't need them. On to the sword tab, the fight tab. As I mentioned before, your aiming is done via the right stick. In addition, console users have an auto lock button targeting the nearest threat to your aiming reticle. More on that in a second. All attacks are performed by pulling the right trigger. The lock-on feature I have set to the square button is awesome, but it's finicky. I'm currently trying to get footage to show what I mean. I recall there being a way to choose between locking the nearest threat, or locking onto the nearest threat to the player, or the aiming reticle, but I've yet to refine this toggle. I think it's in the advanced settings somewhere. Okay, and for the L1 and D-pad combinations, here we go. To quickly drink a health potion, hold R1 and tap the D-pad up. For mana, you're going to hold the left bumper and tap the D-pad left. For quick buff, you're going to hold the left bumper and tap the D-pad right. The buff feature drinks all available potions in your inventory, including potions in your inventory bag if it's open, but the void bag can be closed or opened by hitting the left trigger on the void bag in your inventory to prevent or allow quick buff potion drinking. Secondary aim seems kind of useless to me. Now on to the bucket, being the miscellaneous tab. You can toggle your aim, or toggle aim mode is still something that I'm working on, but I've set it to hold the left bumper and flick the stick up. Not exactly sure what that does yet. I'll try to update this video if I figure it out. Toggle smart cursor is done by clicking the right stick. I'm currently working on footage and stuff to get more examples of what this does, but essentially it changes it from how your aiming reticle will go from either it choosing where you're automatically trying to, say, place a block or something like that, and then if you click it, it will allow you to manually set the area or whatever. If you've ever used the smart cursor, you know what I'm talking about. Auto select can be done by clicking the left stick, which is kind of similar. If you click the left stick, it will try to automatically find whatever tool that you need, depending on whatever block you're pointed at with your cursor. Grid snap set to the D-pad allows the aiming cursor reticle to be controlled with the D-pad, which is very useful while building. Housing query is performed by pulling the right trigger while your cursor is pointed inside a house. Mind you, it's necessary to hit triangle while in the housing menu to go to world first. Buffs. Sometimes it's helpful to see and remove any active buffs you might have, though not like since the update for 1.4.4 allows for 44 active buffs at a time. But being able to see them and stuff is quite handy. With that out of the way, you can remove a buff by holding left bumper and flicking the left stick down. From my testing, this also seems to be the way that I can at least just get my reticle to go down, or well, not my reticle, but right below your hotbar is where your buffs are. So if you hit L1 and down on the D-pad, it will go from your hotbar down to your buffs, and you can cycle through your buffs with L1 and left on the left stick, or L1 and right on the left stick, respectively. Whew, okay, onto the backpack. Pick up and place down items in your inventory with X. Use items from your inventory by first hitting triangle to go to world and then pulling the left trigger. You can favorite any item by hitting the right trigger, making it unable to be quick trashed and quick sorted. Very handy when organizing items. Also note that items can be favorited, then moved to the void bag to keep those goodies safe in your bag as well. In my testing, if you have a favorited item in your inventory and you press the touchpad to quickly put it into your void bag, it won't work. But if you go to your personal inventory, hit right trigger on favoriting so it's favorited, and then tapping X to pick the item up and manually dragging in your void bag, you can keep those items favorited in your void bag. Whew, okay. You can split the stack by holding the right bumper and tapping left trigger. This opens the slider to choose how many. The left of the slider being how many stay, and the right being how many you're taking. This can be adjusted with the D-pad for finer control. I don't generally need the sort inventory option, and it can be easily accessed on the outer right hand side of your inventory menu with the outer side button. I'll show you guys what I mean by the outer side button in just a minute. When in journey mode, you can research an item by holding right bumper and tapping square. This is useful for quickly researching items when you're in the game's creative mode. Toggle tools, I don't know what this one is, I'll be honest. Throw held item by holding left bumper and tapping square. This is necessary for dropping the guided. Oh, that was bad. Okay, hold on. Let's do this all over again. Throw held item by holding left bumper and tapping square. This is necessary for dropping the guide's voodoo doll to summon the wall of flesh. You can trash held item with square. Be careful not to quickly trash things that aren't favorited. You can also choose to leave this setting blank as it is on default. Quick stash I personally find to be unnecessary. And here we are at the treasure chest. You can loot items from an inventory by pressing the touchpad. You can deposit items from your inventory to an inventory by pressing the touchpad. You can loot all items quickly by holding the left bumper and tapping X. You can deposit all items by holding the right bumper and tapping X. You can quickly sort all the items in your inventory by holding the right bumper and tapping right trigger, which is very handy. You can quick stack items in your inventory and watch them float to all the neatly organized chests by holding left bumper and tapping left trigger. Restock, rename, quick stack, and sort inventory are all available in the outer side icon in the right hand corner of your inventory menu. I'll go show you what that is real quick. So when you're in this, that's these options right here. You've got tools, sort, and quick stack. Tools is cool because you can turn your block swap feature on or this neat ruler on. Very good to know. This ruler is very handy for building. Now, back to the settings. Yep, that's done with inventory. The helm, otherwise known as the equipment tab. Quickly unequip an armor piece or accessory by pressing square. Toggle equipment visibility with the left trigger, allowing you to hide your armor or accessories like that if you wish. Info, I don't really know what this one is. I think you can make it show you the little tooltip for whatever item you're looking at. I don't really know. That doesn't really seem necessary for me. The loadouts are new in the Labor of Love update, and after some trial and error, I found that only using the cycle loadout option is necessary, making hold right bumper and tap the D-pad down to cycle through all three respectively. Very handy. Pretty much what I mean is 1, 2, 3. You can just quickly swap between 1, 2, and 3. And that you can do it manually too by going down here and clicking your loadout one here. Now on to the hotbar. As you can see, you get 10 hotbar items. I've chosen number 1, being the leftmost slot, to be my secondary weapon or my building block. It's usually a weapon. Building blocks if I'm doing heavy building. Number 5 I chose being the middle. This one is usually my primary weapon or something, similar to that. And then number 10 being all the way on the right is what I usually use as my pickaxe. But these are all done with holding L1 and either left, up, or right on the D-pad respectively. Very handy, very cool. It works out for me very well. That's how I like to set up my hotbar, but feel free to set it up any way you want. That works best for you. Alright. Now the bag, the shop and crafting tab. You can reforge an item, say when you're talking to the Goblin Tinkerer, just by tapping X. Pretty standard stuff. You can craft an item from the crafting menu by tapping X. You can buy something from one of the merchant's inventories by tapping X, and you can sell it whatever item from your inventory to them by pressing the touch button. Very simple. Filter items. This can also, or hold on, I gotta think this. Filter items in your inventory can be done by clicking the outer side icon on your crafting menu. There are 11 categories: armor, weapons, consumables, blocks, etc., things like that. Let's see if I can show you what I mean when I do that. But I don't really have any inventory, but say, I think, yeah, if you're in here, you'll see this little, I don't know if you can see my cursor, I'm trying to highlight it, but there's this little infinite thing right here. You tap that, and you can sort whatever it is by these 11 different categories. It'd be very handy, especially in journey mode. Let's get back to the control settings here. Toggle duplication. I don't know what this does, but I just quick sort inventories by holding the right bumper and tapping right trigger. But the sort function can be accessed on the outer side button of the inventory menu as well. Onto the cross swords are multiplayer, but the only thing worth mentioning is that in the toggle chat, if you bring up the chat window, you can actually type /death, and chat will and the chat will display how many times you've died on that current map, which is pretty cool. And onto the final tab, the map tab. You can open the map by pressing the touchpad button. You can zoom in and out of the map by holding the right bumper and pushing the right stick up or down. Alternatively, you can pinch and the touchpad to zoom in and out of the map and in-game. Minimap zoom in and out by right bumper and pressing right stick left or right. And the minimap zoom reset, oh, looks like it reset. Oh, I guess it automatically reset. I accidentally set it to the touchpad button, but it ended up not being an issue because every time I just opened up the large map, it would reset my minimap, so it just didn't really become an issue for me. But looks like it unbound itself naturally. Weird, okay. Didn't know that until redoing this commentary. You can toggle your minimap on and off by hitting holding R1 and tapping the circle button. Alright, that's it. Time to finally start playing on all the seeds in succession, starting with the Don't Starve seed to learn to always be eating first. I've got a brand new character for each class and seed: Melee on the Don't Dig Up seed, Ranger on the No Trap seed, Summoner on the Not the Bees seed, Mage is on the Drunk World, and I have an Angler, or well, the Farmer, actually I should say, Farmer Neebs. I use on the and the Angler is for the Don't Starve world, which is where I'm starting. My personal character is tasked with setting up the museum and stuff, and all that, and that is on the For the Worthy seed. And then at each stage of the game, I'll take my best player onto the Zenith seed and see how well they can do. By each stage of the game, I mean I've set 7 different tiers of progression in the game. They're personal tiers. Like the first tier is getting like the NPC hotel done, beating the Eye of Cthulhu and Deer Clops and King Slime, and at least setting up the Forest Pylon is the first tier. And then it goes from there. But seven tiers, pretty much consisting of building and then normal progression stuff. Anyways, it's a whole big thing. I'm going to save that for another video. If you did rewatch this with the commentary, thank you very much for doing so. And if it was a help, I'm glad it helped you, because I struggled with these controls for a while. So I don't know. I hope this helps. The best I came up with. Let me know if you've got any ideas or suggestions. I'd love to hear them because I'm still constantly tweaking this. So anyways, thank you very much, guys, and hope you have a great day. Catch you